What is up YouTube? My name is Skoldiee and today we're back with another video, and this time we're going to implement the things that we learned in the previous video, and now we're going to learn on how to protect the ball. So let's just get started. So let's just jump into the first clip here, and what we can see on the screen here is that we're attacking with Balotelli. So I'm just gonna let the ball run, the clip run through, and we can see here that we're always protecting the ball. We're always maintaining our back towards the opponent in order for us to be sure that we protect the ball, because if we have the back towards the opponent, he can never score. And as you can see here, that we're managing to protect the ball enough to create ourselves some space and then find a little lucky goal here. But if we just go down and break it down, and we can see here that we're coming into an attack here, and as you can see, we're keeping the back towards our opponent, which leads to that the ball is going to be in front of us, and there is no way that our opponent is going to be able to intercept the ball here. And we do a little step over there, and we can see here as well, once again, we're maintaining the distance as well as our back. Because if David Luiz gets close enough here and we open up, we're going to lose the ball, because an easy tackle for David Luiz is going to send Saint-Maxim down on the ground if he gets into a tackle here. And you can see here, we're trying to create something, but in always, once again, keeping the back to the opponent and making sure we recycle and protect the ball. And you can see here as well, now we're going to get into a situation here where we're going to get surrounded. But we can always check, as we learned in the previous clip, that when you're looking at the opponent's cursor, you can always gain the information to see if he's going to press you. And you can see as soon as he switches to this one, we know we got to keep the back to this player here. And you can see once again, the AI is pressuring, and what has happened is that he's pulled this guy out of the position. What's going to happen is we're going to have a little space here that we can just play it in. Why I take the shot, it's a good question, but we managed to luckily get the ball back, and we score a goal. So let's just jump into the next example here as well. So in the second example, it's in the same game actually, but it's actually in the start of the game. So we can see here, once again, we're doing the same things. We're protecting the ball with Balotelli. And once again, down here on the wing, we are using our information that we gained from the game, that he's not controlling Ferdinand, he's just trying to cover the spaces. And then we can just simply take it easy, and we try to find a little pass there, but it doesn't work out. But if we go back a little bit, we can see here that when we get into this kind of situation here with Balotelli, we can see he's controlling this guy. It means we got to protect the ball from Bakayoko here, and then we got to be able to go in this direction in order to keep the ball. And you can see once again, we're keeping the back to Bakayoko, and if he's going to take us down here, it's most likely going to be a fall. And once again, we can see he switches to Ferdinand, which means we got to go up here. We got to somehow make sure that we get up here in order to keep protecting the ball. And we managed to do so, and now we can see he's back at Bakayoko, and once again we're just keeping the ball until we have an open man. And you can see here that we're gonna get down on the wing. He tried to intercept with Ferdinand, but once again we just do a little ball roll that is so important in the way of protecting the ball. I'm gonna talk more about this in another episode, but it's the ball roll that is make sure that we can protect the ball very easily. And the other thing here, we can see that we know that he's not controlling Ferdinand, and because of the way AI is in FIFA 20, they're not going to pressure you in this situation if he's not manually pressuring you. And you can see as long as we maintain the ball here, we're just waiting to see if there's coming any opening. Once again, protecting the ball, make sure we're always moving it. And you can see eventually we find a little pass here, but we cannot find a little through ball there. So you can see how we're basically just covering the ball using the information from the previous clip in order to gain the information and be able to protect the ball and create ourselves some space. But we have one more clip, so we're going to jump into that one. So we'll run it through our last clip here, and we can see that we're running down the wing here, and with a little ball roll here, once again, we managed to protect the ball from getting taken away from us. But this is where the game gets really interesting, because you can see here in this situation that we're constantly facing our back, just waiting to our opponent to make a mistake, and eventually we can find some space here, and we decide to take a chance here to see if we can get inside. But if we roll the clip back a little bit, we can see before we get on the wing here, we can see with SCN here that we're so close to this player that we know that he's going to intercept it if we don't move the ball into the space. And what happens is a lot of people, they think it's going to be a 100% clear tackle here. So a little ball roll just up here. You can see that he clicks the circle button or B button depending on what console you're on. And you can see as well that we have an easy pass because of the animation that Roberto Carlos did, which makes him lose his pace and lose his position as well. Then we get into this kind of situation here. And what is going to happen is that we're going to see that he's going to control Maldini. But what we want to do is we want to get into this space. and we're gonna see if we can find an opening. But right now we're just basically slowly protecting the ball. We're facing the back, making sure that if he decides to come at us here, there's gonna open up the space in behind here, and that's where we want to get in. But my player is not falling for the bait. We're just moving, and eventually we can see that he pulls Vieira out of position. And then, you know, we can see that we still have the back towards Maldini, so it's an easy pass in here. And as soon as he changes to Maldini, you can see we have an easy pass in here. In this time I decided to take a touch. Maybe should have played it on the first touch, but... And then you can see once again, first thing I do is in case he would come at me with Hullit, I would have the back faced against him, which makes it easier for me to recycle. But now we decide to go on the wing because that's where we have some space and we have a Mane in a one-on-one situation here. And instead of trying to go outwards and go recycle, we try to ball roll in and try to create a little chance. But he reads it well and intercepts the ball. But hopefully you've learned something new here where you're going to understand that in order to make sure that you get the time and space, you need to protect the ball. And if you protect the ball well, you can hold the ball for another 1-2 seconds. And then you can see what happens. And then you're going to get into the new chances that you will be able to create. So this was it for that video, and hopefully you've learned something new where you can, in order to implement the information you receive from the cursor of your opponent, and as well at the same time where you protect the ball, you can make your decision, and this is going to be leading to a lot easier attacks for your side. So if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next video. Thanks for watching.